because I want to tell you the story of how I met your father.
I already know how you met Dad.
You know the basics. But it's time for me to tell you the unabridged version.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 How I Met Your Father theories.
How did you forget the Beyonce tickets at the bar? What's happening?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most exciting speculations regarding Hulu's standalone sequel to How I Met Your Mother. These include possibilities about characters, plot, and possible connections between the two shows. We're focusing on the first 4 episodes, so if you're not caught up, here's your spoiler warning. Got a How I Met Your Father theory we haven't thought of? Share in the comments below. Number 10. The girls' apartment once belonged to Tracy McConnell. The first obvious connection between the two series was the delightful reveal that Jesse and Sid's apartment once belonged to Ted and Marshall. Wall swords and all.
Love your place.
Thanks. It was a total score. We got it from this old married couple who posted it on the Wesleyan alumni group. We even got them to leave their swords.
Wow. Nice touch.
But what if the recurring settings don't stop there? In the previous show, we learned that the titular mother, Tracy, was roommates with Ted's ex-paramour, Cindy.
It's funny. Sometimes you walk into a place you've never been before.
Sure.
But you get the feeling you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Curiously, if you study a photo of Tracy's apartment alongside our new protagonist's residence, they look strikingly similar, almost like they could have been superimposed. Could Sophie's new apartment also be the mother's old apartment?
Funny story, we met at London Fashion Week, hit it off big time. One thing led to another, and now he lives with us.
The layout doesn't match exactly, but the building could have undergone changes over time, and it would be a nice bit of serendipity for our new leads to inhabit their predecessors' homes. Number 9. How I Met Your Mother characters will appear. HIMYM creators Carter Bays and Craig Thomas were like kids in a sandbox with the cameos on their show.
I've never met anyone who could clean up after Canada, except my Uncle Tony from the Bronx. He's a janitor.
How I Met Your Father showrunners, Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger, are big fans of their forerunners' humor and style.
We were excited to take on that challenge. We were fans of the original and, as we've discussed, fans of this world of sort of friendship shows and dating in New York City specifically shows.
It's probably reasonable to imagine that they'll find a way to bring back some of the cast and characters that we already know and love. Maybe the girls will find a Robin Sparkles music video on YouTube.
Everybody come and play. Throw every mascara away.
Wow.
Let's go to the mall today.
Maybe Sophie will photograph Lily's paintings at an art exhibition.
Hey, kid, do me a favor. Hold this light reflector up for me. Come on, I'll give you an Altoid. Here we go, quick, I don't want to miss the shot.
Perhaps a side character like Ranjit will pop in. Aptaker has said he'd be lucky to get any of the original cast, so we hope he's got a playbook of ideas to show us some familiar faces. Number 8. Jesse's ex will return significantly. Speaking of cameos, there's a notable one that you might have missed.
I know you.
And here we go.
You are the guy from the video.
The video was an unfortunate incident that had recently gone viral.
Hopeless romantic Sophie meets love cynic Jesse, whose heart got broken when his ex rejected his proposal in a humiliating viral video. The proposee in question is played by none other than Blair Waldorf herself, Leighton Meester. Such high-profile casting implies that we haven't seen the last of Jesse's ex, and Aptaker has teased that there's more of her story to tell. We know she'll reappear, but to what degree?
She definitely has a wonderful role on the show. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about. I can say that all of us got excited to have her around.
She might be an on-again, off-again love interest for Jesse. Maybe she could go the way of Robin and become part of the gang. Or she could be the unanswered question that keeps Sophie and Jesse apart from destiny. Discuss in the comments below.
When you see Leighton and Chris together, you're like, you guys look like a great couple. So she's definitely probably going to ruin Sophie's day a few times.
Number 7, a Sex and the City crossover. If you're not starstruck yet, How I Met Your Father features the welcomed television return of Kim Cattrall.
She was brilliant and warm and open and all the things that I feel Sophie is. but just settled. And so I think it was really great casting.
In a slight inversion of the How I Met Your Mother formula, Cattrall plays an on-screen figure, Sophie, replacing the late great Bob Saget's off-screen narration. Having a former Sex and the City star on board opens up entertaining cross-referencing possibilities.
What is this? I didn't order this.
A cosmopolitan.
Hey, Carrie Bradshaw, that's from me. Okay. Just so we're clear, a Cosmo is a classic cocktail, all right?
How I Met Your Mother loved to do this, like when Barney found that a coffee shop wasn't as cool as a bar, and when Full House alum Dave Coulier uttered the show's classic catchphrase.
It wasn't me. Stop asking. Jeez, cut it out.
I always liked that joke.
We might hear Sophie remark that she'll try anything once, or see her reading the New York Star. It would certainly make up for the Samantha-shaped hole in our lives.
I see you guys are set for drinks, so I'll give you a minute with the menus and, our specials tonight if you're interested.
Oh, I'm extremely interested.
Number 6. Sophie had a pineapple incident. One of Ted Mosby's many adventures included the enigmatic pineapple that appeared the morning after a night of binge drinking. Observant fans of How I Met Your Father may have noticed a pineapple-shaped cutting board hanging above Sophie and Valentina's kitchen countertop. Though it may just be a callback to the original series, future Sophie has suggested that she was no stranger to nights partying.
Tomorrow you turn 30 and we will be drinking so many 40s. You'll be hungover to your 50s.
It's conceivable that young Sophie could have had a pineapple incident of her own.
There's a girl in your bed.
And a pineapple? Am I the only one who's curious about the pineapple?
Perhaps it resulted in the kitchen accessory being left behind rather than the actual fruit. Although a deleted scene eventually revealed the origin of Ted's pineapple, it remained a delightful ongoing mystery.
Damn it, Trudy, what about the pineapple? Sorry.
It would sure be fun to see if Sophie likewise faced a comical puzzle.
Puzzles. People will be like, why is it called puzzles? That's the puzzle.
A great name for a bar!
Number 5. Characters from both shows could be related. How I Met Your Father has brought with it a brand new gang of characters with some curiously coincidental quirks. Sophie's a hopeless romantic like Ted, and the group seems to have Barney's tendency to acquire catchphrases.
One might call us wing sibs. Ooh, trademark. You can't call trademark, I just said it.
Yeah? And you should have also said,
Trademark.
Could these familiar traits have been inherited? We've already learned a little bit about Sophie's party girl mom, and Jesse and Ellen are siblings. If we meet more of the group's extended family, they could turn out to be some How I Met Your Mother characters we already know.
Mom, Dad, what are you doing here?
We hadn't heard from you in a couple days. We were worried about you.
For God's sake, son, do you have any sixes? Go fish.
Ellen's adopted family in Iowa don't live insanely far from the St. Cloud Ericksons, and some might say that Sophie's new interest, Drew, bears some resemblance to Ted's high school friend Punchy. What secrets might these family trees hold?
She's got her parents' magic love story to keep her stupidly optimistic.
Magic love story.
Yeah.
Sophie's mom is a party girl who bounces around from boyfriend to boyfriend. Her dad wasn't even in the picture.
Number 4. Jesse is the father. A will they, won't they trope seems like a sitcom requirement, even in 2022.
You can't do this. Please. We agreed to be friends, and now you're making it all confusing.
No, I'm not. Look, I just turned off my brain for the night. Nothing's changed. You've moved on, I've moved on.
Although we were promised that Robin wasn't the mother, she and Ted still provided that back and forth. How I Met Your Father gives us several options, like Sophie's Tinder date Ian, with whom she faces a long-distance conundrum similar to Ted and Victoria's.
And so we decided it would be a bad idea to start a long-distance relationship after just a few weeks of texting and an amazing first date.
The other obvious choice is Jesse, whose platonish position seemingly mirrors Ted's to Robin. But if the long journey to the mother taught us anything, it's not to expect the obvious. Charlie and Sid are both currently taken, but who says those relationships will last? Still, Sophie and Jesse seem to mix like salt, pepper, and cumin, and they even have the same comfort song.
Is this?
Yes, Drops of Jupiter. I know it's kind of cheesy, but it's just sort of my comfort song.
Number 3. We haven't met the father yet, and then there's a chance for the proverbial rug to be yanked from under us. Though future Sophie declaratively confirms, "That was the night I met your father," this doesn't mean that we have necessarily met the father.
But you guys didn't even get together.
Get together? Oh, that's a much longer story. Now, where was I? Where'd I put that bottle of wine?
The magic of flashbacks means that we could still revisit that night to learn about new events and updated fortuitous meetings. How I Met Your Mother famously implemented this technique on episodes like Daisy and How Your Mother Met Me.
When you do put a drink in my hand, let's make it non-alcoholic. There's a chance I might be pregnant. Okay, Linus, don't start popping the sparkling cider just yet.
Creator Elizabeth Berger has already hinted that other stuff happened that night. Unique framing devices give inventive writers freedom to let character development and fan bases tell them where the story should go.
Sophie, you're not Sid. Why are you not Sid?
Because you gave me his phone instead of mine when I got out of your car.
There's no telling what exciting discoveries How I Met Your Father could unmask. Number 2, it won't end like How I Met Your Mother. We're not saying we thought it was bad, but the How I Met Your Mother finale sure left some fans with a foul taste in their mouths.
And you know what it tastes like?
What?
Freedom. No, actually, it tastes like pennies.
Given that ending's divisive nature, we think it's unlikely we'll find out that the father in Sophie's story was dead the whole time, or a ghost, or you get the idea.
And that, kids, is How I Met Your Mother.
That's it.
That's it.
No, I don't buy it.
Although it is possible that future Sophie is no longer romantically involved with the father in question, so far she's only appeared alone, and fans noticed the absence of a wedding ring on her finger. We hope that the show's last forever won't be predictable, and will still find ways to surprise us.
And it wasn't necessarily the happy ending that people were expecting.
Right.
But Carter and Craig, who were once writers on your show and the executive producers and creators, knew this ending years ago.
Apptaker and Berger will likely do their absolute best to keep their followers from feeling cheated. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Barney is Sophie's father. This is the incredible story of how Sophie met her son's father.
This story is about the journey, not the destination. I'm gonna get with a whole bunch of dudes before I wind up with Dad.
But what if that isn't the only padre we'll meet at the end of the teleplay? The old show wrapped up Barney's story by introducing his daughter Ellie. But with all the notches on his Armani leather belt, there could be other children that the Barnacle never knew about, including Sophie.
Her dad wasn't even in the picture. The only thing magical about Sophie's life is that she still believes in love at all.
The timeline isn't perfect, but remember future Ted was sometimes a forgetful and unreliable narrator, so we can't be sure.
Back in the fall of 2007, I was dating this girl named... Oh God, what was her name? It's been 23 years, I can't remember all this stuff. For the sake of the story, let's call her...
Everyone, this is Blah Blah.
Please, call me Blah.
Sophie grew up without a dad around, so maybe her mother never shared or was even sure of his identity. Barney's return would be rewarding for returning fans, and who knows, he may still turn up yet.
She's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. Daddy's home.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.